So I'm here to tell you a little bit about the challenges in insulin treatment for people with type 2 diabetes. And today, when you start on insulin as a person with type 2 diabetes, it's really hard to know how much insulin it takes to bring your high blood glucose levels down into the target range where you are in the same range as a healthy person. And what you do today in order to solve that problem is everyone starts at a very low level of insulin, and then you gradually increase until the glucose levels reach the target value. And then you have found the target dose that you can continue taking as a daily injection for the very long next period of your life. But this process can take a long, long time. For some people, it can take months, and for some, even years. And some do not find this target value. And why is that? I mean, around less than 50% reach target. Well, some of it is because it's a lot of work. Every morning before your breakfast, you have to do a finger prick. So take a small drop of blood and measure your blood sugar. And if the value is too high, you increase the dose a little bit. If it's too low, you gotta go down in dose. And if it's just fine, maybe you hit target. But you have to do this every day, and you have to remember it, and you have to take your injection. And that's a lot of work if it takes 2 months. So maybe we can simplify this. Maybe we can automate it and do it smarter. What I'm looking at in my project is whether we can use an insulin pump. So a pump that speaks together with a sensor that measures your blood sugar every 5 minutes, calculates the insulin dose, and then does the work, so to say, of bringing you down into target. What I look at is how do we translate this information we have of what insulin the pump gives you into a daily injection of insulin. So in the future, maybe you can go to your doctor, they'll give you a pump, you go home for a week, and when you come back, my algorithm will calculate the dose of insulin that you will be taking to live a healthy life.
Question for Sarah?
Blood sugar levels are very dependent on how much you eat. So can you somehow compensate for the, so to say, the bursts of you just had breakfast? Or do you have to have fasted before, not eating?
Usually you would measure your blood sugar values, at least in the old method of taking a finger prick. That would have to be before breakfast in order to know what is your base level before eating. But the idea of using this insulin pump is also learning something about, do you go high? Do you need insulin when you're eating? Because maybe then you need to take an injection when you're eating, in addition to the long-acting insulin that will keep you steady during the day. So it's understanding the individual needs based on a more detailed data set.
So it's almost a control problem.
It is a control problem. Yeah, you can see it that way.
Actually, I was maybe confused by the heavy duties of being chairman, but so I didn't quite get it. So your pump, does it both measure and also administer insulin?
It's a system. So the pump itself calculates the dose needed, but it gets information from a glucose sensor that sends this wirelessly to the pump. So there's a measurement of the glucose every 5 minutes. The pump calculates, is it too high, is it too low? How much insulin do I need to correct in order to correct the glucose?
Right. Okay, so you don't need to take any more injections manually.
No, it's fully automated.
Oh, sounds good.
The pumps? It depends on the model. Actually, they do not exist within type 2 diabetes as of now. It's something that is under development. The technology exists within type 1 diabetic population, so the outlook is that it will become available within type 2 diabetes. So it's a very future perspective on how could you do treatment in the future.
One more question?
Assuming that the pump exists, why not just use it? Then you don't have to do anything
it's expensive, and as with many other things in the healthcare system, we have to prioritize. So the project is more seeing the pump as a diagnostic tool that you could use for a shorter period of time, and then convert to a cheaper injection-based treatment. Plus, as drugs become available that are more advanced, maybe you only need to take an injection once a week, which would mean you were only diabetic on Sundays, or whichever day you choose to take it.
You have input on communication?
Thank you very much. It's really, really nice. I like the way that you kind of took us through this story, and there was fine red lines through it, and how you presented the situation and the problem, and that your algorithm was the solution. It's really, really nice.